So for this video I travelled up north, and today we're going to be touring some of the worst skate parks I could possibly find to show you guys how you can still train and get good no matter the environment you're in. So with that said, the parks are going to get slowly worse as we get through the video, and I've got 8 tips to give you along the way, so let's get into the first one.
Wow, today you join me from a skate park that seemed a lot worse on Google. This one's actually not too bad, to be fair, but I'm still going to show you how you can have fun when you don't have a lot of obstacles. The first tip out of the 8 tips that one is going to deliver onto thee for this video is, when you get to a park, try and make it a little bit safer yourself for you and your friends. So for example, right, you pull up to a park and you've got big ass puddles like this. Ideally, you would come on a day where it's dry, that you could actually have not so much of a slippery skate. And you might be also wondering why I'm skating this. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, if you're gonna come to a place where it's wet, bring a broom to sweep the water. And if it's a bit rougher and like hardcore terrain, like this kind of is, like this isn't too bad, but as you can see, like the floor, if you fell and your hands went down, it'd be a bit rough. So if you've got like sticks and stones knocking about, especially if you find them at the bottom of ramps and whatnot, sweep them out of the way. Make the place as safe as it possibly can be, because the last thing you want to do, especially on your first ever session, is come to the skate park, fall in a puddle, get grit in your wound, and all of a sudden it ended in tears. So look after the park and keep your eye out for debris. Make sure you stay safe out here. But that's just a pre-warning tip. All the other ones are going to be for actually getting some training done at these parks. Let me switch my board real quick. All right, so the one I'm riding today, albeit in the rain, but you gotta do what you gotta do, is this one. This is my Thrasher Santa Cruz board. I was gonna put rails on it to try and preserve the graphic, but I've already started to lose it, so I don't know if I'm gonna bother now. Holly keeps telling me I should, but either way, this park here is nowhere near as bad as we thought it was by the looks of the Google pictures. I'm pretty sure it's been redone. But yeah, this ramp doesn't feel too bad, actually. I can't even hit my truck on the coping. There we go. But yeah, all you gotta do when you come to a park like this, if you've got a half pipe, amazing. If it's one this big, I mean, this is like 4 feet, so it's gonna be tough to learn a lot on, especially for like a first time beginner, but just riding the ramp like this, pump on it, get used to it, is gonna help you massively. Do some kick turns, both ways, whatever you do. If you do it one way, try and learn to do it the other way. This is how we're going to get good with some poor tools at our disposal. And also with the half pipes, if there's no one here and the park's not busy, you can stand at the bottom and just practice some tricks. Like you could just stand here and practice some shove-its. Oh. Yeah, no, you can literally just practice tricks at the bottom. Like if you're wondering what tricks that you should practice, I literally did a video of 50 of the best beginner tricks, like ranked from easy to intermediate. So I've left that video linked in the description. The thumbnail is also on screen now if you want to check it out. But yeah, write down a bunch of those tricks, practice them at the bottom of the mini ramp, and just try and get your friends out here as well. If you've got friends that want to get into it, then get them into it. But yeah, a lot of skate parks don't even have something this luxurious. This is actually pretty nice for what it is, but we're gonna get to some dastardly skate parks as we go through this video. Another thing that I would suggest for a park like this is once you've cleaned up and sweep the floor and whatnot, practice your flat ground. Because if you think about it, right, because every single trick that you try stems from a flat ground ability, right? Say if I want to go up here, I want to go up this orange ramp and manual across. I'm obviously gonna have to learn how to manual first. To do that, you're gonna take one crack here, so one crack here to that crack there, and we're just gonna try and manual across. That's part of our flat ground training, and it helps so much with other stuff. You can do all kinds of different tricks, like at the bottom of the ramp, like I just told you. But the more we practice skating the floor, the better we're gonna be at skating like ramps and flat banks and stuff like that. And another great thing to practice is stuff like bonelesses. They're so easy, so low risk. Well, I say so easy. They're easy compared to stuff like kickflip, tray flip, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, defo if you've got a park that has a lot to be desired, make use of the floor. And you can do this, bear in mind, even if you don't have a skate park whatsoever. A lot of commenters might say, Webz, what do I do if I don't even have a skate park to begin with? Everybody's got flat ground somewhere, whether it be in a car park, or a car park. You can find flat ground anywhere. But yeah, for this park, I think we're pretty much done with the talking. I'm gonna do a few tricks to lay over the top, and then we're gonna head to the next worst one. Well, I mean, this skate park here leaves a lot to be desired. We've got a flat bank. Well, at first glance, might look like it's an actual like skatable bit of kit. If we take a look at the rest of the park, I mean, you've got this, whatever this is in the middle, just a giant hump. Like, you know when you see a pump track and it's like wavy like that? It's like they just forgot to put the middle wave in and it's just one big hump. Then in the background, we've got this quarter right here, and also the rain is now kicking in, which another great bonus of the day. But yeah, this quarter pipe is, while it isn't too high, it's like 4 feet, it's extremely steep. Like the transition curve is aggressive and it's really warm. I don't know why. It's really warm and rusty too. But yeah, no, this skate park is not the one. And like we got like an inch gap almost, like a ½ inch gap in between the metal and the concrete. So if your skateboard wheels aren't big enough to withstand the game over, mate. Too bad, mate. But yeah, this one looks like it might be more attuned to those of the scooter variety. So I'm probably going to only hit you with 1 out of my 8 tips at this skate park, as we did 2 at the first one. We've got 2 more parks to do after this that I know are going to have a bit better of a situation for us to talk about. But this one here, the tip that I had for this skate park was just learn to get good with what you've got, or get good at what you've got, I should say. This park, I mean, the actual ramps aren't too bad. If you want to get good at pumping, this might be the place. You can really feel the bottom of that, and it's really hard to get over. Jesus Christ, this is horrible. Okay, here we go. All the way over. No! Oh my days. This is one of the worst skate parks I've been to in my entire life. Yeah, nah. This is most certainly one of the worst skate parks I've been to in my entire life.
It's not looking good, Brev.
It's not looking good, Brev.
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good.
I mean, to make the most of what you got, if you're feeling a bit techie, feeling a bit dangerous, you could do some stollies off here. Let's do that. But the important thing is, for a park like this, is if you have some flat ground, a ramp, even though it is not very good at all, if this is all you had, you would make do, right? I would still come here on a dry day if I didn't have any other options. Flat bank looks like it would be good for some tricks to fakie on maybe. But yeah, tip number 3 is basically just make good with what you've got. And this skate park really makes that one tough to follow, I can't lie. Let's go down this thing. God, it's soaked. We made it. Yeah, scary, sketchy, hella dangerous. But what would I do if this was my local? I reckon I would practice flat ground, probably end up using that pathway behind Holly more than the actual ramps. Let me come over there real quick. You really got oomph to get over the cracks. I would use this pathway more than the actual ramps. At least you can actually ride fakie comfortably. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, how have my trucks gotten so loose all of a sudden? But yeah, no, I would end up using like this section here, like this whole bit here that's actually still dry, and this pathway way more than I'd actually use the park. If you wanted to push the boundaries but didn't quite have the facilities to do so, you could try stuff like this. Just got to take the impact and crouch when you land. So I'm going to use the mythical line. I'm going to go up the pathway, I'm going to do a no comply 180, and then do a trick on the way back. So trick on the way there, no comply at the top, trick on the way down, and that's how you skate a park like this apparently. Okay, so start off with a little kick flip. Hit the no comply into the stones. Fuck's sake. Okay, so line idea for this park, roll up, kick flip, 180 finger flip no comply at the top, and then I might do like a backside 180 and then a fakey basement flip. Okay, see if we can do it. One try out the way. Ah. Fox. Okay, that took way longer than it should have, but it was decently clean, acceptable if you will. Now I'm going to try and hit the bank this way, maybe just like ride up, do a tray flip into the bank, then maybe like another trick on the way down, then I might boneless off the side of that middle hump, we'll see. Oh, that's so slippery. God damn, that was so slippery. Like, I went to boneless off the side of that thing and my wheels just immediately started going sideways. I am going to try one more time though. I was going so slow.
Ooh.
I'll fucking do, I'm done with this park, bitch! Right, well, now you join me from probably the funniest, maybe even one of the worst, if not the worst skate park of the day. I know I said that about the last one, but this one, I mean, let's just take one look at this rail and you can give me your own opinions. It's about 2 inches high on one side.
I mean, that's 2 inches.
And about 50 inches on the other side. My measurements might be a little off, but we won't worry about that. Next, I mean, and look at this ground, like, look at this. Literally, it could not be worse. Outside of razor blades sticking out the floor, it couldn't be worse than this. We've got a spine in the middle that, if you didn't have the horrible ground, this could actually be quite fun and quite good. And then at the flat bank, going into some of the 1-star reviews, because this is a legit 1-star park from Google reviews, someone put, I didn't even bother getting my skates out, and someone else put, the flat bank has no bash plate, so it's near impossible to ride up. Which, I mean, it looks like someone's tried to DIY concrete it, but yeah, this park ain't looking good. And I'm gonna do 2 tips here, and then we'll do 3 tips at the last park, making 8 total. So let's do that. Tip number 4, and that is to think outside of the box. When it comes to doing like stuff like rails, you don't always have to be like, all right, I'm gonna board slide this. I mean, at this skate park, you'd be lucky to even do anything on this, but you might not have to board slide, grind. You don't have to grind a rail. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of skateboarding. It's all about creativity. For example, there's a trick called a hippie jump, which basically the board goes underneath, you go over the top, and you land on the other side. I would show you it for real. I'll put B-roll of like another clip of someone else doing it or one of my other videos, but yeah, hippie jump, basically board goes under the rail, you jump over the top, stuff like that. Just be creative. And like even this, like, I'll try one trick actually. Just silly stuff like that. As long as you're having fun, literally it doesn't really matter, because the more you skate, the more you try ride these things, even if it's not in the traditional way, the better you're going to be at them, and the more you're going to know them and know how to react when you see them. And yeah, you don't always have to hit like a fucking kickflip grind to make a rail useful. Just have fun and just play around with it and see what you can do. You can even do stuff like this. Balance that on there and then just try get off the end. See, silly stuff like that works. There's even a trick called a caveman board slide. Now, a caveman, if you didn't already know, is jumping onto the board. And a caveman board slide is, as you would imagine, jump onto it like that. Now, obviously this one's a bit high. It's a bit high, but I'm gonna try and land it anyway. Whoa, almost pinged up and hit me in the gob. Oh, Jesus, one more try, one more try. Pretty techie, pretty sketchy on a park like this, but yeah, so many things you can do with that. You can shoot the board under and bar hop over if you're feeling parkour. Like, just have fun, try a bunch of different things and see where you end up. Right, my next tip for a park like this would be to use obstacles that you would not normally see. The good thing about shitty, horrible skate parks like this one is that they oftentimes have obstacles that you wouldn't ever see at a decent park. This one obviously being that dead ass rail, but a spine. You don't see a lot of spines, especially not a lot of small ones. And bear in mind, there's a football game happening right behind Holly, so if you can hear that, sorry. But either way, so a spine, just come up, try that. Like, even if you've got this right, and even if the floor is this bad, if you wear protective gear, you can be a lot better off at, like, if you fall, or if you wear gloves even. If you wear gloves for ground like this, you'll be much better off, because the hands going down, like, that's the worst of it. But yeah, put on some big wheels so you can survive, and then just try random stuff. Like an ollie to fakie. You could do it on a flat bank, you could do it on the spine. Just as I said with the last tip, get creative with it. Treat it as a quarter pipe. Hit a rock and roll. And even if you want to do something like a little bit of a project that I would recommend, if your park is this bad, try and film and edit and just work around it. Like, do something with the rail like I showed you in the last tip, do something with that as a quarter pipe, launch yourself into the grass maybe even, like, just play around with it and see what happens, because if this is your local, your life really can't get much worse. You might as well try anything. And this is actually smooth up here, so you could technically just skate up here. And you've even got, say if you're learning a trick, you've even got the poles to help you practice and commit to tricks. I think I committed a bit too hard on that one. This skate park is dead. We've got one more park to do in this video, and we're going to cover our last few tips there. Right, we just pulled up to the final skate park of the day. Obviously, it's getting to like 4 p.m. I think it's like 3 p.m. now, and things are getting busy. There's a few scooter kids out here just having a little session in the park. There's about 100 other kids lurking around. That's not an exaggeration. There's literally about 100 children running around the park right now. But yeah, no, so we're gonna do 2 more tips at this park, and then that's gonna be it for this one. And these are gonna be fairly quick ones. So let's have a little session while we do that. Alright, so my next tip is basically when you go to a skate park and you think like, what can I do when I'm there? What am I even going to start on? Just set yourself a goal for some tricks. So yeah, when you get to the skate park, pick out some tricks that you like. Just find something that you want to learn, whether it be shove it, no complies, 180s, bonuses, whatever it may be. Go to a trick list video. For example, I've got a 50 tricks list that you should check out. I'll link in the description, but I think I've already said that in this video. Either way, find yourself some flat ground, practice those tricks, and then when you've got them on flat ground, for example, this part of the park here is perfect for it. Like you can practice so many tricks just dashing about back and forth here. Play skate with your friends. If you don't know what skate is, one person does a trick, the other person has to copy it. If they don't get it, it's a letter. And the first person to spell skate loses. But yeah, if you've got a flat ground, practice on that. And then when you think you're ready to take it to a ramp, you've got some actually decent ones here, to be honest. Like, these metal flat banks are actually all right. Like, you can manual on them. Practice the manis. Practice the tricks on the ramp. Whoa, Jesus, almost died there. Yeah, ramps like this are perfect because this flat bank here is super wide and really mellow. So if you've got a trick that you want to master, bring it to the ramp. Ow. God, that smacked me right in the kneecap. But yeah, once you've got a trick on flat ground, bring it to a place like this, like a flat bank. This super mellow one here is great. And then just practice it to fakie. So go up, do the trick, and come back down. I'll start off by showing you a shove it. It's a great way to start. You can do pivots on the ramp. Front side and back side, but yeah, these kind of ramps are perfect for mastering tricks on, bringing them to fakie, and the more tricks you learn, just like cruising around on the floor, the better off you're going to be when you have a ramp to practice on. Alright, and my final tip for parks like this is basically bring out your friends. Try and get them involved. If you've got a spare skateboard, if not, let them use yours. The more of your friends you can bring into skateboarding and get them doing it too, the better. For example, when I went to that skate park the other day and was giving out free stuff to the locals in London, one of the boys took a board from me and he said it was for his mate to get him into skateboarding too. So he didn't even want a board for himself, he wanted a board for his friend, and now he messaged me and said his friend loves it and they're skating together. So the more people that you can bring into skateboarding, the better it's going to be, the more fun you're going to have. You can bounce off each other, become rivals. Like, set a goal for learning a trick, see who can learn it first. And if your friend learns it before you do, don't beat yourself up, don't get bogged down, but keep it in your mind that you want to be better for next time. So the more you practice, the more you have someone else to like build you up and bounce off of, the better you're going to be. And also show them videos like this. Watch these videos together, get motivated to go skate. Before you have a session, say if you're like going skating on a Saturday or a Sunday, then watch these videos either the night before with your homie or a few hours before you leave, and you'll be motivated to go skate and do some good tricks. Well, my final tip is stop being a little bitch. I'll see you in the next video.